In the center of Manhattan sat the famous Harmony Heights Conservatory, an exclusive institution for musical education where fees exceeded typical home loans and corridors resonated with orchestral pieces performed by talented young musicians dressed in expensive attire. This establishment transcended being merely educational. It served as a haven for the privileged, where offspring of business executives, ambassadors, and famous personalities honed their musical craft. Through the stone corridors and beneath gilt-framed photographs of distinguished alumni moved an unassuming, overlooked figure, Mr. Samuel Hayes, who worked as the institution's custodian. Samuel was in his 60s, with a somewhat bent posture, gray threads woven through his black hair, and weary eyes that appeared to hold countless unspoken narratives. The student body seldom acknowledged his presence. In their perception, he was simply Sam with the cleaning supplies, unseen, essential, yet easily dismissed. However, Samuel harbored a hidden truth. Decades earlier, he had possessed remarkable piano skills, earning admission to Juilliard through academic merit, recognized for his innate ability to improvise and his jazz sensibilities. He had previously performed during evening hours at Harlem music venues, harboring aspirations of prestigious concert halls like Carnegie Hall. Yet existence, merciless and unexpected, had destroyed his dreams. A devastating automobile accident had claimed his spouse's life and left him raising an infant daughter alone. He had forsaken his musical pursuits, accepted various employment opportunities, and concealed his abilities beneath financial obligations and sorrow. Nevertheless, whenever he encountered a piano, something awakened within his spirit. On a cold winter dawn, before students' arrival, Samuel stepped into the institution's magnificent performance hall to glee in the gleaming surfaces. Sunlight streamed through high windows, illuminating the room's focal point, an immaculate, specially crafted Fazioli grand piano, the conservatory's most prized possession. This instrument was owned by Savannah Whitmore, the Academy's most renowned pupil, a 17-year-old musical genius whose parent was a technology industry magnate. She possessed exceptional talent and beauty and was recognized for her intense protectiveness regarding her piano. Nobody dared approach it, yet Samuel found himself unable to resist. The combination of the morning atmosphere, the silent space, and the light reflecting off the keys proved overwhelming. He moved toward the piano carefully, respectfully, as if encountering a long-time companion. He settled onto the bench, hardly drawing breath, and allowed his fingers to gently contact the keys. A gentle, subdued tune emerged, filled with blues, longing, and profound humanity. For a brief moment, the space overflowed with sound that originated not from written music, but from recollection. This was jazz in its purest form, unprocessed, as if drawn from a spirit that had witnessed excessive hardship, yet still found courage to express itself through song. Then the entrance opened. Savannah walked in accompanied by two companions, all three carrying luxury handbags and morning beverages. She halted abruptly, her eyes becoming stern. "Is he using my piano?" she inquired, her tone icy and cutting. Her friends responded with laughter. One young man whispered, "I suppose he believed he was trying out for a talent competition." Samuel jumped up quickly, mortified. I apologize. I intended no damage." Savannah approached nearer, crossing her arms. "You have no right to touch this instrument," she declared harshly. "Its value exceeds your entire existence. Return to your cleaning equipment, elderly man." The mockery that ensued cut more painfully than any verbal abuse. Samuel dropped his gaze, acknowledged quietly, and departed. He returned to his supplies, back to being unnoticed. Yet Savannah remained, her attention fixed on the piano. Her companions continued their jokes, but she had stopped paying attention because briefly, during his performance, something within her had been moved, and she couldn't understand the reason. The performance venue was completely filled. This was the monthly exhibition evening at Harmony Heights Conservatory, an exclusive event where pupils performed before instructors, benefactors, and wealthy families. This evening's featured performer was Savannah Whitmore, as expected. Her reputation alone could occupy every plush chair in the venue. Behind the scenes, Mr. Samuel Hayes positioned himself in the darkness, cleaning a dusty seat. He had long dismissed the morning's humiliation from his thoughts. He understood his position. He was present to maintain cleanliness, not to receive attention. But then he detected it, his own name. "Mr. Hayes, would you please come join me on stage?" He became motionless. Initially, he believed he had heard incorrectly, but when he glanced past the curtain, he observed Savannah positioned beneath the stage lighting, holding a microphone. Her voice remained composed. "This morning, I happened to hear Mr. Hayes performing. What I experienced was genuine, sincere, and I believe everyone should experience it as well." Murmurs spread throughout the audience. The principal appeared bewildered. "Savannah, this is extremely unconventional." "I understand," Savannah replied. "However, music extends beyond technical perfection. It concerns the spirit, and you must hear his." The quiet that followed felt heavy. Several individuals moved restlessly. A few parents laughed quietly, anticipating some form of entertainment. But Samuel walked deliberately, anxiously, making his way onto the stage. His custodial clothing appeared inappropriate beneath the bright illumination. He remained silent. He didn't acknowledge the audience. He simply positioned himself at the piano. For several moments he gazed at the keys. Then, taking a profound breath, he started to perform. The opening notes were gentle, hesitant, like exploring long-forgotten territories. But as his fingers progressed, the melody expanded. This wasn't a composition from sheet music. It wasn't practiced. It belonged to him. A gradual, mysterious jazz improvisation filled with grief and affection, of existence lost and enthusiasm reborn. The venue became completely quiet. Savannah's father ceased looking at his timepiece. The principal took a seat. Even the contributors, accustomed to classical pieces and technical excellence, sat without breath as Samuel performed with something none of their children could learn: authentic feeling. Upon completion, he didn't pause for recognition. He simply rose and started walking away from the stage. However, the applause occurred regardless. Initially, a few acknowledgments, then additional ones. Then the complete auditorium rose in a thunderous standing ovation. People celebrated enthusiastically. Some showed tears. Samuel turned around, amazed. He hadn't anticipated this reaction, not remotely. The principal approached him with trembling hands. "Mr. Hayes, that was remarkable. Why didn't you ever inform us?" Samuel grinned gently. "Would you have paid attention if I had?" Savannah moved closer. "I nearly didn't," she confessed, "but I'm grateful I did." In the following days, the recording of his performance, secretly captured by a student, became widely shared online. Custodian jazz became popular for several days. Musicians throughout the nation distributed it. Even Juilliard reposted it, describing it as the most sincere improvisation we've experienced in years. The institution formally named Samuel Hayes as a part-time instructor for jazz improvisation. The same students who previously overlooked him now gathered around the piano, captivated by his every instruction. Savannah also began dedicating time with him, not as someone superior, but as a learner. She requested his guidance, and together they developed a collaborative piece for the following showcase. Regarding Samuel, he required neither celebrity nor wealth. All he required was for someone to pay attention, like comment and share if you like the story and want more I share for you.